That's usually me. I'm like, but normally I go with my Firefisher.
Yeah, I was like, which black button-up should I wear that doesn't make me look like a 17-year-old 90s boy? And I was like, cowboy one. So
See, I was just like, which black V-neck should I wear? And I chose this black V-neck.
Hold on a second. Let me see if good. We are there. I'm gonna tweet the link. Started. Whoop. All right. Yeah, we're live, Zach.
Oh, goodness. Never been live before.
I'm still stretching live. A lot of me stretching.
Of course, I'm obsessively checking if the promo did anything, because I'm that guy.
Throw it on the Instagram really quick before we get into it.
All right. What'd you say, Zach?
Oh, nothing. I'm talking to myself.
Let's see. How many people here?
Oh, live stream this.
So apparently there's a lot of echo.
On my end? Okay.
No. I'm not sure which end it is.
From whom?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Do you guys still hear echo?
I don't hear one.
Chat.
Okay. I'm gonna. I put headphones in, and we'll see if it's me because it might have been.
Okay.
And I can, rework things on this side too. So.
Tweet.
Oh, it's from me.
Oh,
way to go, Ian.
Jesus.
The echoes coming from inside the podcast.
I was thinking that in my head. Okay, so.
Can't possibly sound better. It does? Oh, it does. Okay.
I mean,
that's weird though. Why?
Now it's like evened out.
It's weird not having. I like having headphones. I wonder if I put in these other headphones if that'll be better.
Yeah, you kind of probably should put in headphones. There's like a delay with your voice and your mouth. Yeah.
Hello, cat.
I'm putting in my shittier headphones. I don't have a mic in them.
Didn't that work last time? The shittier headphones.
We did. Yeah. Is this still okay, Mike?
Yeah, that sounds good, Mike.
Yeah, now your voice matches up to your mouth, so that's good.
Yeah, always a plus.
These shittier headphones usually, if there's an issue, there isn't always an issue, but when there is,
it's always the key.
Yep. Dude, I get all of my headphones at Five Below. I get like all of my tech at Five Below in the mall. That place is my favorite. I get all my Riverdale posters there. All the stuff.
I got like my
place
iPhone.
Is the best.
They have I got one of those like ring lights and like a tiny one for your phone. I bought 3 of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have to get a ring light because obviously I have like 6,000 lights going to try to make sure everything is the right balance of dramatic, but also not horrible, so you can actually see my face. But
yeah, so Zach's the one that's got me to start doing these, and since he did, literally last week, I think, someone posted like a really good, well-lit selfie from their house, and I was like, all right, what light are you using? Because I want to know. And they showed me, and I ordered it because I'm vain, and I want to have to
I think this is one of the first times we're not using a ring light. We usually have a ring light set up. Oh, no.
What are we going to do when it gets darker?
One day I'll just do this in complete darkness. No lights. Deal with it,
All do that. All of it.
Yeah.
Just like 4 completely black squares. Just.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Figure out who's who, you guys.
Apparently there is a delay in my sound again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was getting a lag, too.
Wait, nope. You good again?
Okay.
Talk.
Hello, it's so good to see y'all.
Yeah.
You match up now. Are we live yet? Because I need to get some
We are,
water.
yes. We can go get water.
Okay, cool. I'll be right back. Should I totally be that guy and get my Kiss the Librarian mug? Because I think
Yes, do
That's the
it.
mug you have. That's the mug you have. Do you want? Or what is that? What? Do you want to go get a mug too?
No.
We have time.
No, I almost got an
Well,
angel.
we're just all still doing things. I'll promote my book.
Yes. Promote your book.
An encyclopedia of women's wrestling, available wherever books are found, and it's probably going to be online for you because don't go out into the world.
I work at Barnes & Noble. We're modeled for it. I mean, a month ago, last time I went, but...
Yeah, you can get it at barnesandnoble.com since you should not go inside a Barnes &
Right.
Noble.
Are you
Never
living-
go inside any place ever again besides your own home.
Oh, hi, Lauren. Hi, Cassie.
Hello, everybody. How are everybody?
Shows up.
Yeah, it's the first one that showed up.
Hello.
Oh, I love it. And you have the straw. Yes.
I commit.
You get the purple one?
I appreciate someone who
I like
commits.
fully commit. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So before we get started, I figured I opened some champagne to celebrate that we finally interviewed Chris Carpenter.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. That was an exciting podcast. I have to say,
Yeah.
that was my favorite one you've ever done, and you both were great on it.
Oh, wow. I'm never listening to it back ever, so...
You should. You really should. You should. It was really good.
It was awesome. Yeah, I was so excited. My little tiny black gay heart just grew 6 inches too big. And I was like, "Oh my god, you scored charisma! That's so awesome!"
I know. I got super stoked about it. I feel like I was telling Ian about this beforehand. I felt like I would call her Cordelia instead of Chris Carpenter. I talked to her, so it's probably a good idea. I would have loved to have been there, Ian.
Yeah, Ian.
No, I'm just joking. But it really was a really good episode. Like, you guys did really, really well, and I liked the topics that y'all brought up with her because I really wanted to hear about the Playboy stuff, but I didn't know if anybody was going to ask her. And then she talked a good bit about it, and I thought her answer was great. Yeah, I don't know. And I liked that she kind of rambled, but when she rambled, you got more details about it, like things that you didn't really need details about, and it was still really exciting for all of us nerds. So, yeah.
Yeah, Latoya, so you're used to me being a nervous wreck. But you were actually a little nervous for this one too, right?
I'm always nervous. I tell you this, but you don't believe me when I say this.
Well, you're really good at hiding it. I'm not.
That's what you mean anymore. We're both nervous wrecks, but at least I can hide it.
Are you kidding? Last night I was texting Zach about some stuff with the podcast, and I was like, "What do you think?" And he was like, "Well, it's your podcast. You make the decision." I was like, "Oh, I know. You're a confident voice, so I'm immediately like, you make all the decisions."
You're the boss now.
Just sign over, Slayer. I'll fit you. You're an employee now.
It's just like immediately when someone's confident, I'm like, "Great, this is nice.
No,
This
we
is what
lost
I need."
Neff.
Did we?
Oh no!
Yeah.
I think. Well, it's red, so they'll still pop up.
Yeah, it's just dropped out, but...
Hi.
Okay.
She's back.
Yeah, weird shit happens in Salem, man. The Wi-Fi just stopped working.
Listen, I'm in the suburbs of New Jersey, and yeah.
Bless you. Bless your strength. Bless your strength.
So, Meth, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Meth has always been like super wonderful and like nice about the podcast. I feel like you've been listening to it for a long time, right?
I actually just started listening to it because of buffering. So I heard the live show that you did in Philly, and I was like, ooh, more gay Buffy, because I refuse to listen to heterosexual people talk about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They have no right. I'm sorry.
I mean, I used to do that. I used to listen to the heterosexuals talk about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and it was excruciating.
I've never, we don't have that experience. How different is it? Is it?
Well, it was like, it was a bunch of people on a podcast, and a lot of them were newbies, and they clearly weren't used to talking about like television in a critical way, and it was kind of like pulling teeth. And
yeah. I'm like, I give a pass to like straight women because okay, fine, but like,
yeah,
anybody else, hell no. So.
And also, they hated Cordelia.
What? No.
Oh,
That's how
All right,
Yeah.
to be fair, so I started watching.
Uh-oh.
Am I blowing your spot? All right, just give it.
Uh-oh.
All right, I'll stop.
No.
You gotta go now.
Am I jumping ahead in the journey here? You want to stay within the narrative. It's important, but
Well, Meth is joining us because Meth is a really gracious Patreon subscriber, and now I'm like having like Patreon subscribers join us for these little after shows when we do them. And Meth, you've done Buffy live shows, right?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Uh,
Oh, there you go. Okay, Meth, you've done Buffy live shows, right? Can you hear
boy.
us? Oh no!
Here.
Oh no.
This is always the part where they start doing something they don't know they're on camera doing.
I'm making sure they can see it in the chat, hopefully.
But I don't know if they can see the chat. So I feel like you don't know the chat's there unless someone points it out.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Okay. Meph saw the chat.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Oh.
I'm going to tell Meth to chat us when they can hear us again.
Okay.
Okay. That's going to switch networks. Not quite sure. We'll see. When we did the Magicians live stream, there was 1,000 issues and I kept dropping.
Maybe we should try
Classic
Zoom
Ian.
next time.
What'd you say, Zach?
I said maybe we should try Zoom next time, just test it out and see how
Yeah.
that would work.
Yeah, I've been doing Zoom recently. It's good.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
hi.
Hi.
Hello.
So if this keeps cutting out every like 2 or 3 seconds, I'm just going to move to my awesome phone, and you're not going to get the beautiful backdrop here. You're just going to get shots and pictures of my nose. So.
We prefer that one.
Yes. As we were saying, queer perspective on Buffy is better than not.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, it's funny. I feel like I've had maybe 2, 3 straight guys on that aren't like Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
Like not counting James Marsters, but like I think maybe I've had 3 straight men on.
Dude gets a pass. Also flexible, right? Like we're all in agreement he's flexible. No straight man has those cheekbones or those abs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, if he's not, we've decided he is just right now.
That's what I'm saying. We got to work on this, people. So.
Hold on, I want to step in.
I like that decision.
What's your Buffy origin story?
Sure, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Because I know everybody else's, and this is my first time meeting you. So.
Oh. What?
Yeah, Buffy origin story.
Buffy origin. Cool. Cool. So I was rehearsing this in the mirror earlier. So it's always my favorite part of the podcast too. I love hearing how people came into it. I'm old, so I actually watched the pilot. Because I love the movie, and I watched the. Remember the trailer that came out before where they had the this woman killed a bunch of vampires in 1863 in the West, and of course they never revisit any of those stories again. But they were cool.
Yeah. I love that.
I love that. And when they did the 20-year anniversary, I remember somebody in my Facebook posted the trailer, and I was stoked. So I every year on the Buffyversary, I watch it because I'm that dude. But so I actually watched the first episode, the pilot, when it aired, and I fell in love with Willow because I super identified. I'm Jewish. I'm a computer nerd, and I'm like, oh wow, she's a nerd like me. And I didn't like Cordelia because she was mean to Willow. So fast forward.
That's fair.
It's fair, and I'm 15. Like, it was, I'm a year younger than them. Like, it was exactly what I was supposed to feel watching that. And I watched the first season and I loved it. And then I watched second season and I dug it, but I like fell off and I wasn't watching it. And then I got older and too cool for school. But like my friends kept watching it, so I kept checking in. And then I was like, cool, what's going on in Buffy? Is Angel still there? Did he lose his soul? But, like being all like jerky about it. And this is funny because this is something that you've mentioned.
Not that I watched.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like, not that I watched or anything, it's fine. But, I would keep up with it, but not watch it, just talk to people about it. Because a lot of like the online nerdy fandom stuff, like that I was into was also, they were all into Buffy too. So, and then like as I got older and like the seasons kept going, I was like, wait, Willow's gay now? I'm like, okay, so this person who I heavily identified already with at 14 years old is now a queer witch, like Jewish computer nerd. And I'm like, that ticks all of my boxes. So I picked up when it started to re-air after Buffy died. So, first 6th season, and I loved it. And I, bless me, for whatever goddamn reason, I loved season 6. I loved Dark Willow. I think the magic is drugs is dumb, but magic is drugs is dumb, but magic as drugs is not. So, and that's where I was. And then I spent all of college smoking pot and watching Buffy. And then
I like that you made that specific difference.
Yeah. That's why I live in Salem. Yeah. So yeah, and then I I started watching it, and then I became obsessed. As one should be. And it's been
as you do, yeah.
It's been one of the few constants in like my life for the past 20, 23 years, right? Like Buffy's always going to be there. I'm always going to watch it. My partner and I are both obsessed. Like the first night we hooked up was me going like, hey, do you want to go up to my room and watch Buffy? We've been together. It was after a drag show, and we've been together for 10 years. We host Buffy sing-alongs. We've produced 3 Buffy burlesque shows in the Boston area. One I hosted is Xander. I was just thought, and then I was like, oh wait, no, he's terrible. Why am I hosting a Xander? And then the other 2 I hosted as Andrew. That was really fun. So, I just got to be a big gay nerd talking about Buffy. And on my Facebook, I could show, y'all could see later if you want. There's actually a bunch of pictures from those shows that we produced together. And yeah, it was cool. We did we had it fully cast. We had a Buffy and a Spike and everybody like that. And then we had we did there was one which I really loved doing. And then I promise we'll get back. I know, you're a taskmaster for staying on topic. But my favorite one that we did, we actually commissioned. We had we had a Willow and a Buffy and an Amy, and they did a gingerbread act where we had them walking through the audience to get burned at the stake, and then we had the lights go on and off, and then one of them, the Amy one ran off stage, and they pulled a rat. They had one of the stage crew pulling a rat off stage, which was really fun. And it was to the Queens of the Stone Age song "Burn the Witch," and it was very cool.
Okay, so, I'm loving all of these dramatics, and I need to come see one of these.
Yeah. So we do those for a couple of years, but we host all of the Boston area Buffy sing-alongs at Once Somerville when people can leave their house and go to them. Yeah. But we had one planned, and then and that's why.
Yeah. Right now, I would have been going to Vegas for Klexicon this weekend.
Yeah, I saw.
And I'm like, I was so excited.
So we run so my partner and I run a business. We're professional witches, and we run an art design business. They're the brains behind the operation, and I'm the mouth. And we were supposed to be doing paranormal conventions, which sounds fucking ridiculous, and therefore I love watching those those shitty Bigfoot shows they have on Amazon. They're obviously made in the 90s, and they're just amazing. So that's what we were supposed to be doing, but We're not.
But now,
so,
yeah.
But I don't know, whatever. So,
I know I got my, Spirit gave me the refund voucher, which I think is ambitious of them to think that I'll be planning a flight by September. Like I have to plan it by September.
Right.
But they've still been sending me the automated emails. It's like, check your bags, pay for your bags now. And I'm like,
that's such a bummer, man. I'm sorry.
I mean, we're all in the same.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're all fucking there. It sucks, but whatever.
But
we can still, my weed man's still around, so everything's fine.
So is mine. I was surprised.
I got a text from him. It was like, because I live in Massachusetts and we have rec, but all of the recreational dispensaries closed. So, it was dark days here, but luckily my weed man called me and was like, you need anything, you let me know. Yeah, drops it on my porch. Social distancing is the shit, guys.
I love it.
Great.
So we're here today to talk about LaToya and I, along with Anthony Oliveira, got to interview Charisma Carpenter. Yay! That's why I broke out the champagne, because I feel like that's been the goddamn goal of this podcast.
Yeah, you can pack it up now.
Yeah, I guess wrap up and go home.
We're all done.
Not finishing season 6.
Not
going to season 7.
Wait, Meth, do you also not like season 7?
Okay, so no, so I rewatched recently. I didn't do.
It's kind of relevant right now,
right? So I did a rewatch of 6 and 7 back to back because it's a totally different show. Like watching, up to season 5, it wraps up completely. 6 and 7 are like codas. It's a totally different show. It's a totally different vibe, and it's also adulthood. And early adulthood sucks. And so I totally understand like the 6 into 7 and what 7 is supposed to be, because I was like, oh, right, it is a return to high school. But who the hell wants to go back to high school?
Well, not the people watching Buffy, that's for sure.
Exactly. So there are some good episodes in it, but I'm like an episodes person. Like some people are season people, where they're like, we like the whole arc of the season. And then some people are like, I like the seasons that have the best episodes. And I'm an episodes person. That's why I like 6. That's why I like 4. I know, kill me, right? But
that makes sense, though, if you're an episodes person and not an arc person, that you're like, I love 6 and I love 4.
Yeah, exactly. Because they have like one-offs that they have, and those are phenomenal. Season 3 is objectively the best, though, because it has because it only has one bad episode.
Which one's the bad episode?
Beauty and the Beasts. It handles like partner violence in the grossest way possible.
Yes.
I thought you said season. I thought you said season 4 only has one bad episode. I was like,
no, but it also has some best episodes. Like gosh,
yeah,
we can
of course.
Whatever. But season 7, like as an arc, really well, well told arc, hits the narrative, flows really well, but like. Individual episode wise, like I maybe go back to like 4 episodes in it, maybe.
That's fair. I think that's a totally fair critique of season 7.
Yeah.
Because like I've also been going back to it lately, mostly because like this sounds weird, but for me it's like almost I've talked about Buffy for the prior seasons, and we haven't talked about season 7 yet, so it's almost like, oh, okay, like I'll revisit this because I haven't grounded into my brain to death.
Right.
It makes sense to prep for it before actually having to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I have found it more relevant because, it's like a bunch of them stuck in this house that can't really, it's a big house, but it can't really fit all of them that are there.
No one can afford it to pay rent.
Yeah.
And they never do.
To be fair, the apocalypse comes and then nobody has to. Like it's kind of no one's in town anymore. Everybody leaves. Yeah. Like everything's empty.
But so I've actually been enjoying it more. But I do agree, like especially towards the last, like the middle to last half, the episodes kind of blend together where I couldn't tell you specifics about specific episodes. But Zachary, I see you smiling, or you're frozen. I'm not sure which.
Either way, adorable.
He's frozen in a smile.
He's frozen. Frozen and smiling. Because Zach loves season 7.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he can't talk back about it. So.
I know.
Yeah, I have some friends that have been like, you need to watch it. It's so good. But I'm like, okay. So here are the good parts about it. Selfless.
Yeah.
They actually let Dawn be a character. And I like the idea of the potentials. I think the acting for the potentials was great to spotty. I don't.
Spotty to great.
Yeah.
Spotty to decent.
Spotty to decent. I mean, there are great actors in the roles not fulfilling their potential.
It's always weird to me that Rachel Bilson is one of the potentials, but only in Xander's wet dream about the potentials.
Yeah.
He like booked the OC immediately, thank God.
Yeah.
And Felicia Day is a potential too and does nothing. Except for getting a ticket to be on every other nerd show ever. But like, and was it Amanda Hagen was the one that was on Freaks and Geeks?
I forget what her name is.
But she was,
yeah.
And she was great.
No, Sarah Hagen.
Sarah Hagen.
Sarah Hagen, yes.
Sarah Hagen. And she played Amanda, right? Like,
yeah.
She was great. Like, and
Courtney Draper doing a weird British accent.
That's a thing.
And by weird, I mean bad.
Yeah, that's a thing.
It's worse than anything David Boreanaz has done accent-wise, honestly.
Oh, I will agree with that.
That is a harsh critique.
No,
but it's true.
That's real.
Courtney Draper, you were great on the Jersey, but you were not great with a British accent. You were great in Stepsister from Planet Weird, but not with a British accent.
Oh, damn, that's deep. I love your deep cuts.
You were also great on the 13th Year. That's the other one.
I don't even know what shows you're talking about, Latoya, as usual.
Disney Channel original movie with the merman. He's not a mermaid. He's a merman.
You lost me with 13th Year because I had no idea, but then you brought me back with the promise of a merman. That's too much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, am I frozen now too?
No,
you're there. I see you.
We're talking to you.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird. My video. Oh Jesus!
You froze for you keep freezing for like a second, and then you keep coming back.
My whole internet just like turned gray and then rebooted.
The internet turned gray.
Yeah, the whole window was gray, and then well, now it's back. Yeah, Zach is gone. I text him, but what's weird is he hasn't left the room yet.
Yeah, Zach, we miss you.
Because normally it's not a black block.
Should we pour one out for Zach right now?
I feel like let's
have a drink.
I want to like draw a halo over his happy face.
R.I.P.
I text Zach. He said he's trying to fix it.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like everyone should be happy just to have his smiling face. Can the viewers do they see the smiling face as well? Because that's pretty funny if they do.
Oh yeah, can you guys? Yeah, I think it's. Now he dropped.
It was so fun.
The other day when he and I FaceTime, because he had just shaved and he had his hair like that, I was like, "You look like a precious baby." You're back.
Is he back?
Something's back. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, welcome back.
Do you hear us?
Yes. Hey.
Okay.
Enough.
Hey.
Zach, it was frozen on you just smiling.
For the longest time, I was staring at myself too, and it was awful.
It was amazing. I loved it.
I love that.
But, and you mentioned Stepsister from Planet Weird, and I wasn't even able to comment on that.
Go ahead.
I love it. And I love when it shows the flashback of how they had to leave their planet and the mother gets popped. And it's just like, it's such a bizarre movie. It always stuck out of my head, and the Disney Plus came out, and I found it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I know this.
Did you watch it?
I did.
Were you like, I fell in the sink? Everything just came rushing back to you?
Yeah, it was like a fever dream. It was very
weird movie. Weird movie.
I'll put that on my list.
Meth, I think you and I are officially too old.
I think we might be too old. Yeah. I mean, I got some I'm sure we can, watch some other older, weirder movies. We can watch My Stepmother's an Alien. Allison Hannigan was in that. So
that movie scared me a little bit. Like I liked it, but it also scared me a little bit.
I remember. Yeah, that movie scared me too. Oh, remember the movie? What the hell is that movie with John Ritter? Stay Tuned. That movie.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Stay
yeah.
Tuned is that one gave me nightmares.
That movie gave me nightmares, and when I was older, I wrote Xena fan fiction based on it. So
Love it.
there you go.
I love that.
There you go. I also, when I was 15, wrote Xena the Vampire Slayer fan fiction.
Ooh.
Do you still have that? Is that
I don't still
somewhere?
Zach's interested.
I lost you guys.
Oh, you don't see us anymore? We hear
Oh,
you.
no.
You hear me? I am live.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I don't still have it, but I did rewrite it as Andrew for one of the burlesque shows that we did. So
Perfect.
it's very fun. I'll try to dig it up somewhere. It's ridiculous.
Do it. Do it.
Nice. Did you do it as Xena the Vampire Slayer?
I did it as Andrew. So I read it as Andrew reading fanfic that Andrew wrote about Xena and Buffy, obviously. So because obviously Xena is a Slayer. Like, think about it.
I mean, yeah, was she, I forget if it was ever just like hinted at or if she was like canonically queer in the show.
She's canonically queer, it's just that like network wouldn't allow them to say it, but like she was.
Okay.
Like the writers would have said like, yeah, she was.
Okay. All right, so Mike in the chat just mentioned Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer. I forgot about that movie.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
I saw Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
I did too, and I really liked it.
That was like the last 30 minutes sucked, but the rest of it was really good.
I thought it
I love that you both saw that movie. I didn't see any of those movies. When those books came out, they were like super popular though.
Yeah, I remember seeing them all over like the shelves in the bookstores, but I don't think I ever read any of them.
I saw Pride and Prejudice and Zombies during a movie night where a friend made us watch the Blake Lively shark film, The Shallows, and we're like, we don't want to watch this, but he made us watch it, and then he fell asleep during it, and we were furious. And then we forced him to watch Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. We woke him up and made him watch it. People try to say The Shallows
Simone,
is good,
yes,
and I
all
say
of
it's
us,
not.
I think, are missing.
Did you see 47 Meters Down?
I heard people say it was good. I don't know.
47 Meters Down? No, that's such a good movie. Yeah, the first
I've not seen it yet, despite the fact that I love Mandy Moore and Claire Holt. I'm like, I need to see this movie.
It's on Netflix right now, I think.
Did I miss the shark movie?
You should have made that one.
Well, we're talking about shark movies right now.
You did.
No, that one was really good. It's very, very intense.
I
and
haven't
love
seen
how,
any of them.
low concept
I'm not-
it is.
You're not a fan of sharks, Ian? Is that what you're going to say?
You know, like
Not even Left Shark?
Shark movies, they
What?
terrified me as a kid. Like Jaws, like I was scared.
totally fair.
Grow up.
Well, that happened in New Jersey, didn't it?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a 37.
Ian, you're going all
No, I
over
think
the place with me.
Jaws is in like Massachusetts, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
The story,
It's over Massachusetts, too.
there's a shark who just swam around beaches and killed a bunch of people back in like the, I don't know, 1920s or something like that. This is a real deal.
Yeah, New Jersey.
Sharks killing people.
Yeah. There's one behind you right now.
They're actually wait, shit. I was gonna find my shark fanny pack that Animal Planet sent me. It's the coolest thing, but I can't find it right now. Oh, wait, hold on. 1 second. I found it.
I also have shark fanfic, and I'm gonna go get mine.
We don't. Go get the Jaws cup. Go get it. No.
I'm doing a bad job of keeping everyone on topic.
Topics, I swear.
Yeah. We'll start talking about Cordelia and some sharks.
That
Nice.
is a good fanny pack.
Yeah.
So we've actually been watching. Speaking
Oh, I
of
love
radio,
that.
I love that.
Which one?
It's a zipper.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Yeah,
Did
there's a
anybody
monster.
like Sharknado or am I? Buddy, did anybody watch Sharknado?
I've never seen a Sharknado, and I'm never going to.
I tried.
Just the one, just the first one. It's so bad that it's okay.
It's so bad that it's okay.
It's Tara Reid, and I try to watch whatever she puts out there.
I mean, Josie and the Pussycats is the greatest movie ever, so I've supported Tara Reid for all of my life, since 2001.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I saw that movie like 4 times in the theater. I love that movie.
It's the best movie ever.
It's phenomenal. Yep. 100% on board for
It's the only good movie, actually.
So
that has ever been made. Except for
yes, Ian.
Before
I know, we're totally blowing up.
Before Latoya gets on her Josie and the Pussycats
We'll take it offline. It's cool.
beat. So we are here to discuss the fact that Latoya and I interviewed Charisma Carpenter. So Latoya,
Yes.
do you want to talk about? I mean, I think I texted you and you were immediately like, "Yes, I want to do this." Right?
Yeah, that was the process. He didn't have to bribe me or anything.
Yeah. I was like, Latoya, do you want to do the Charisma interview? And he was like, yes, absolutely.
I would have been offended if he hadn't asked me. If like all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, I had this interview with Charisma Carpenter," and he never asked me, "You want to do this?" I would have like murdered him. I'm saying it on live video. I would have murdered Ian.
So it's funny. Was trivia the first time you and I met in real life,
Yes.
Latoya?
Yeah.
Me and my former full-time co-host Matthew hosted a Buffy trivia at a gay bar. Oh, we lost Matt.
Matt's popping in and out.
All right, well, I'm continuing. We hosted a Buffy trivia at a gay bar in LA when I went out there one of the times. It was the first time Latoya and I met. And I specifically remember, Latoya, back then you were like, am I never going to be on with someone famous? And you said that to me, and then now you've interviewed Stacey Abrams and Charisma Carpenter with me.
Yeah, I can die now.
I feel like you two as a pair, and the other guy too. Sorry, his name is
Anthony.
Yeah, so I feel like you all really work together. You two especially, because you bounce off of each other really well. And I think it was really great that y'all did this one together, because I could tell that she was going to be like a chatterbox also. I don't know. I thought it was well casted, Ian.
Sometimes I know what I'm doing.
Sometimes.
I believe you, Ian.
Thanks.
Was there anything that y'all didn't get to ask that you wanted to?
No, I think we got to ask everything, really. And I got to ask even more than I wanted to when she brought up the budget of Angel, and I'm like, yes.
Latoya, it felt like
that too.
It felt like those were questions that Latoya didn't realize she wanted to ask, but she wanted. It was like she said them for Latoya.
And I'm like, I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about the WB promos. You open the door, Charisma. I will talk about these all day.
Yeah, you talked about widescreen, about Angel going widescreen, and we were like, wait,
we were watching it last night, and we noticed
just to make sure,
it.
went widescreen.
Yeah. Angel season 2, one of the first shows to go widescreen, and honestly, from then on, the show looked amazing.
100%. It really looked cinematic, and I get that they spent a bunch of money on it and stuff like that, but it really did help it, because it just it's really easy to get into cheesy teen, soap opera, supernatural, all that. Mm-hmm. But I do feel like the way it was presented kind of set it apart, even from Buffy a little bit.
It's always going to kill me that they ended it season 5, when I think that they were going for something different and something that really worked. But it was something without charisma, and that's something that just couldn't have gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have gone, but some petty assholes at the WB that no longer work at the WB or anywhere in the business, I believe.
We actually read a couple of blurbs from Tim Minear yesterday about the whole Cordelia season 4 stuff. It was not the greatest stuff to read.
No. So what I was is how they. So she got pregnant, and everybody was kind of mad at her about it. And I do understand when they say, as an actor who's been in a role for so long, you kind of have to, walk around your character in life, as in, your choices in life. But also, she got pregnant. It was a done deal. So I didn't understand why everybody was so mad at her at that point. And then I didn't understand why they didn't just, she has her baby, and then why didn't she go into season 5? Do you know?
Well, the thing I remember at the time, the thing people kept saying, I guess the rumor was that it wasn't just that she got pregnant, it was that she hid it until the last possible minute. Although, like, if you're watching that season, like, you can see that Charisma Carpenter is very pregnant.
Yeah,
It's
like
she was
those
hiding
episodes, she's very obviously like.
Yeah, I feel like she's since like dispelled that rumor too.
Yeah.
So
I thought I'd see that it was dispelled.
yeah, but that was the rumor at the time. So a lot of people, as upset they were, kind of like took Josh in the show's side, where it's like, well, if she's trying to hide this, then they have to like rewrite everything. But like, she said she was upfront, like as soon as it happened, or as soon as she could possibly tell. Obviously, not going to tell like immediately once you get pregnant because you just don't do that. But yeah, it's, and then when season 5 it was time for that, it was like she found out she was not going to be part of the show.
Yeah,
I feel like we still don't have the full answer, and I don't know if we ever will.
And I didn't want to bring that up. I didn't want to like bring up, something that's like a bad subject.
Well, that's what the after show's for.
Yeah.
Well, Simone just asked Latoya, for me and you, like, what was the highlight? You answer first. What was your highlight of the interview we did with her?
I blacked out. I don't know anything.
She won't even listen to it back. She can't even tell you if she listens to it back.
Yeah, like I was saying, she was the one who brought up, those WB promos that I love so much, and she confirmed that they were like fun for everyone to shoot, even though like it sucked that they had to come in on a weekend. But like in general, which honestly confirms my belief that in the Oh What a Night, like the big party promo, David Boreanaz is like, you can see him like he's talking to Shannon Doherty, and like I'm reading his lips, and I'm like, I think he's saying this is all bullshit. And honestly, yeah, he's like, this is bullshit. And I'm like, that, yeah, I can see that.
I'm also super not surprised that he would be the one that would say that. Didn't?
Yeah.
I'm gonna find the gift right now. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna find the gift of that because it's
Someone had just posted it on Facebook, the promo. I meant to watch it again.
Yeah.
Someone was like tagged me, and it was like, I love that you talked about it on your podcast. Why can't we have promos like this anymore?
Right? I've always wanted the CW do it, especially with like all the Berlanti DC shows. Like, come on, they're all working together all the time anyway.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So I think my favorite part was when she said that like Cordelia helped shape who she was, like who she became, and, like helped shape her growing up. Because I felt that in my soul. I was like, ugh. So I've been pretty good. What?
I'm just sitting up at the Boreanaz gif in the chat.
Yeah, I just saw it. I was like, ooh. But I should be to talk about charisma.
So my favorite part was when she said that, because I'm pretty good at keeping it together. I mean, I get nervous, but I don't, like, we discussed the body, and I was like, oh, am I going to cry? I did not cry. But hearing Charisma say that, like, Cordelia helped shape who she is made me, like, get, like, choked up. I was like, ooh, this, like, is making me feel emotional.
Yeah.
And I'm, like, pretty good at not doing that, but now that's 2 different podcast episodes. Her and Summer Bishel both said things that made me get, like, teared up, which is nice, because I love them both. And I mean, both their characters are kind of alike. Yeah, Caleb, we can see the chat. So I don't know, it was nice hearing her say that, because, and I mean, at the end of the episode, she said to me and Latoya and Anthony, well, there's not much difference between me and Cordelia Chase at this point in my life. And it was like, I knew it, but I needed to hear it.
You need that confirmation. Yeah. I was doing the dishes because spoiler alert, I listen to your podcast when I'm doing my chores, so I don't hate my life.
We did.
So thanks for preventing me from hating my life. And I was doing the dishes when she said that, and I was that's really nice. And I was going to wipe my face, and of course I got soap all over my face, but I'm that cool. But I loved that part too, and I loved when she was talking about how she kind of got over her too cool for school and started going to cons and realized that, like, yeah, it's fulfilling. And I totally was getting that she was totally transparent about being like, oh, it feels really good to have people tell you that, you're awesome all of the time. But then was like, and also it is really lovely to know that the things that I was saying, change people's lives. Like, so she, kind of copped that, like, hell yeah, quick adrenaline, yay. But also, like, really kind of looked into that and pulled like a really truthful, emotionally honest answer out of it. And I really liked that. I really it was really respectful. I don't know. I really dug that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Sorry, Zach, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I thought she was pretty candid like that, like throughout the entire thing. I feel like if it would have been like a 2-3 hour interview, we'd have gotten just so much more because she was just in that hour so great about everything. And I loved when she said, I'm not a hugger. I don't really like to hug people.
Yeah, I loved that.
I'll just like suggest like a handshake or something like that. And then like all the useless stuff that we didn't even really need to know, but I loved hearing her say little things like, the Warner's Ranch is not where Warner Studios was, and it was like further out of the way, and I had to go run over here and do this, and then I have to, what was the show that she was on? Malibu Shores.
Yeah, Malibu Shores with Kerry Russell.
All of these little like nuggets that I like kind of knew about, but she like kind of went into it a little bit more. It's just
She told him to order pizza.
Yes.
Order pizza.
Yeah, that is some peak ass Cordelia shit. I love that.
Right? It really was.
It's like, oh yeah, Cordelia would do that shit. Like if I was casting something and somebody was auditioning for that character and just called up and said, "Fucking order a pizza," I'd be like, "Yeah, they don't even have to act. Like, just let them in." But
Yeah.
that's it. They get it. They understand. But yeah.
Latoya, did you already know that the ranch was like so far away? I feel like that's something you probably knew.
Yes.
Latoya?
Yes. You're like.
Did you know about the? Oh, okay.
I did. You were like egg pixelated, so.
And see, this is why I think you guys are really good.
Oh no, I see that in the stream. I am.
Are we here?
Yeah, you guys are. Ian's the issue.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think this is why I think you guys are like a really good like team because you don't ask all the fan service stuff and like all the stuff that we all just want to know. And then for me personally, I'm very into all the production stuff. Like I find that so fascinating, and you know all the stuff about it, Latoya. So you know what to ask about it. It's a little bit of the best of both worlds.
And I won't cry either. So. I love Ian's delay, so he's not just no one mocking him yet.
Yeah, and something I've noticed.
It's funny that there's a delay. I'm hearing it. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say when you interviewed Charisma, or when you interviewed Amber or Claire, who was a dream. How to like have the conversation to make everybody comfortable. Like there's a lot of really lovely, I keep going back to it, but like there's an emotional honesty and a candidness that you've been able to kind of draw out of these people, that there's not facade there. Like they're really just kind of sitting down and having a chat with you. I always enjoy listening to your interviews because people can get to that place with you and feel comfortable. And, there's not the performance of the actor that's the character is very much like the person. So it's cool. I dig it. Good job. Thumbs up. That's why you get my hefty bank every week.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you. I feel like I always try to, I try to, like, that's what I try to do. I try to make it like, hey, like, they know I'm a fan, but also, like, make it casual and make it, like, we're chatting with friends, but still, like, do the fan stuff, but also chat. I don't know. Yeah, Anthony and I interviewed Callie Roca this past Sunday, who played Halfrek, and she was a delight. And it felt like I was, like, chatting with a friend. I don't know. It was nice. Yeah.
She seems like...
I will say with Charisma, though, I had to edit out...
Mm-hmm.
With Charisma, I had to edit out myself saying like and
Uh-huh.
I had to edit out like a million more likes and ums from me because I was so nervous.
Yeah.
Aww.
You did great.
Yeah, that is the key to the interview. Just do it like a conversation. You're just talking. You don't want to make it too formal or too stilted or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to tell everyone the way we actually came about getting Charisma was she listened to our Stacey Abrams interview.
Which was awesome, by the way. That was really cool.
Thank you. That was very stressful as well, right, Latoya?
Yeah.
But she listened to that episode and then DM'd me and was like, okay, when are we doing this? I have to come on. I love your interview with Stacey Abrams. And I was like, it was like funny that like I had been trying to get her on for so long, and then like getting Stacey Abrams on is what led to Charisma. It was like a weird, I don't know, like you wouldn't think that that's how I would get her, but well, sure, whatever works. I'm cool with it.
Hey, I do love that Charisma just kind of like, and she's
Zach, thank you for answering the chat.
Yeah. I like that she kind of turned into a total politics nerd. I follow her on Twitter, and I'm like, oh, cool. I like, she's like she fans about it. Like she's super like, she's engaged as a citizen, but also like, you can tell she's kind of a fangirl, and that was pretty cool. And,
Yeah.
She fangirls Stacey Abrams. I do have a question about that interview, if you don't mind me asking, which was, did you get to talk to her about fan fiction? Because apparently she writes Buffy fan fiction. I heard.
Was it you that told me?
Might have been a friend of mine told me that, who used to work on the Hill. Was like, yeah, you do know that, like, she writes Buffy fanfic and had for like years. And I was like, what? No fucking way. So I said, I was like, who did you tip? That's what I wanted to. I wanted to ask, but yeah, she wrote fanfic.
I can't remember if it was you that told me that on Twitter, Meth. I think it might have been you, because someone was like, oh, did you talk about that? And I was like, oh shit, I wish I had known that. Like, I didn't know going into the interview.
Yeah,
I didn't know that, or that she also wrote romance novels.
That I didn't know that. I was like, wow, really? That's pretty cool. I mean, like, politics aside, like, I'd be down for that, in some sort of executive capacity. Americans can't knight people, but I'm sure we can figure out how to like knight the cast of Buffy. You know what I mean? So, like an official White House invitation for the cast, like, I'd be into that. Justify a bit of my existence.
I think I made that joke with Kali Rocha. I was like, oh, like maybe like, then we can both brag, like the VP, like whoever she becomes is like a fan of your work and was on my podcast. And she said something like, and then we can both be part of her cabinet. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, obviously. Chief of staff.
Right, yeah. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I love being here. No, it'd probably be, I don't know what I'm doing, but I hate being here.
I was going to that's kind of like your tagline, right? Like, that's what you feel on the inside. I don't do it, but I hate being here. That's relatable. Callie seems awesome, too. She seems like one of those, like, totally down, like, working New York actors. You know what I mean? Like, super down to earth, like, I don't know. You get the vibe of like a New York actor and an LA actor. Because she's a theater actor, right? She did.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? Yeah. You just get that, like, I don't know. She just seems like totally down and.
Yeah, she was like super chill, like.
Yeah.
And like emailed me after to say that she had a good time.
That's awesome.
Oh, really? That's great. I love that. These are nice little bits of information that they're out there, because I feel like that always paints that always paints like such a nice picture of the guest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you all the story of the end of our recording, LaToya.
You gonna tell that story? Oh no!
So the end of the recording. Charisma she was super sweet, but she had a call with, I think, her agent or an editor or someone at a certain time. And she gave us, literally just wanted to be off 10 minutes before that call, which is, of course, totally understandable, right? And for me, I get stressed because I was just like, oh, I need to speed this up. Like, I need to make sure she's out of here on time. Am I still here? Did I freeze?
Yes.
I hear you. Yes.
Yeah.
You're good.
Okay.
You're good, but apparently there's still another delay.
So there is a little bit of a delay on me, isn't there? Just a little bit.
I'm gonna light some stage. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm just gonna cleanse this video chat. We need it.
Yeah, hold on a second. Here, I'll light some copal.
Oh, thank you, Dustin. Dustin just complimented my choker.
Ian, keep going on your story.
Okay, so I get very nervous to like make sure the guests are happy, especially if it's someone from Buffy who's like not my friend, like Latoya, where I can text her to be like, "Hey, like, are you cool with us running late?" You know, like when I had Ira Madison on once, and he was like, "I have to be out at this time." We ran a little over. I texted him during recording, and he was like, "It's fine." You know, like that. If it's my friend that I can text, cool. But if it's someone I can't, I get nervous about making sure we're still on, like, they're not leaving angry, right? So we're recording, and the thing we record on Zencaster, I have to hit stop recording for the files to all upload. And they all upload locally, which I barely know what that means, but I know that means it's like on the person's end, and then it uploads to the site, and then that's how I get it. Charisma was like, we finished, we did it in exact the time that she needed us to be done. And I was like, she was like, "Oh, am I done?" And I said, "Yes." "You just hit X. Just hit the X to get out of here." I hadn't hit stop recording yet.
Oh, no.
So she X'd out of the window and I didn't have her file yet.
Well, wasn't it that you had hit stop recording, but it hadn't finished uploading the recording?
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't there at all. That's why I had to contact her. And I was like, "Oh my God, I need you to open your window again. I'm so sorry." Luckily, she was so nice about it. She was like, "Okay." And she just like reopened.
Yeah.
Like, I was so worried.
Mhm.
And luckily, the thing that happened before we recorded is her and I had to have a phone call of how to get her in Zencaster. So luckily, I was able to call to be like, "I am so sorry, but I just need you to reopen this window." And I'm like sweating. Anthony and Latoya are like, "Why'd you tell her to X out?"
Yeah,
No.
it was so quick that we couldn't be like, "No, don't X," because you were so confident, like, "X out," and she just did, and then she's like, "Didn't you mean don't X out?"
And I did. I meant don't X out. And then I don't know what my brain was doing, but I had like a mini meltdown. But luckily, all she had to do was reopen the window, and her file popped up. And I was like, "I'm going to download it right now, and then I'll let you be able to close the window." But Ray Latoya, she wasn't mad about it. She was like, "Okay, sure," and like
That
it
sounds
was fine. But
so goddamn stressful.
Yeah. You could have lost the whole
You
thing.
coulda-
Yeah, the whole thing.
You gotta breathe, Ian. You gotta like meditate before you do these
You know
things.
what you'd have been doing? You'd have been taking sound bites from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and compiling them all together.
It's like, when did Cordelia say the word Malibu?
And then her ending is "the bitch is back," and then
Cut it free podcast.
she did childhood trauma. So that would have been the easiest one to find.
You're like,
okay, yeah. I will say that like I gay gasped internally when she casually just said, "What is your childhood trauma?" I was like, she said it. She said the thing.
That was awesome. That was awesome. I believe I was cleaning up after my cats when that happened. So, the chores thing. Yeah. Speak of the devil.
I love that she specifically referenced that, and then Latoya, she referenced the scene from Angel that I love, where Angel's like, "I love you," and she's like, "Yeah, duh, of course you love me, Angel." Like, I love that scene, and she like
Yeah,
did that scene.
she did that. Angel loves me, I love him.
Yep. Yeah, that was awesome.
A great scene.
I did have one thing that I wanted to bring up, if you don't
What
mind.
was that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, so the one thing I wanted to bring up was, if we're talking about general charisma, is y'all watch that video that she released on Twitter? Was it like
yes,
Yeah.
amazing.
action video one?
Yes, we know exactly what you're talking about without you having to say what it was.
Shit.
Perfect. It was just completely random, and everybody in sync, just watched it.
It was so good. I was like, whoa. Like, did you just like, yeah, okay, cool. Well, she was in the Expendables, right? She was in both of them, or?
But I don't think she does any action in those.
Right,
She doesn't expendable in those movies.
Right, exactly. But I feel like watching this movie, she was like, "All right, listen, buddy, you and I are going to have a chat," and took like a fight choreographer and was like, "I'm going to hire you, so I can do action." And it's like, holy shit, she sold the crap out of that. It was so good.
And then the sweater thing.
Good. Yes.
The whole thing.
The sweater. I was like, what?
The crap. Yeah, the
I was
crap.
like, I would have had more action scenes from her and Angel and Buffy.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Buffy was mostly her running away, and then at the last episode of Buffy, it's her staking a vampire. Then we move on to Angel, and Angel gets most of the action scenes.
Well, in Angel season 4, they were supposed to have like a climactic, like Angel versus Cordy scene, right? before she got pregnant. That was the original plan.
Mm-hmm.
She was going to be like.
They should have just carried that over into 5 somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she was looking right in You're Welcome, honestly. I would have loved to see her all throughout season 5.
And
She looks really good in You're Welcome, like, honestly.
She does. Oh, yeah. She's totally.
Yeah, let's all just take a moment to think about what Charisma Carpenter is like in You're Welcome.
And that was around the same time. Oh, no, that wasn't.
Well,
No, yeah, that was around the same time of her Playboy cover, and when she got Playmate of the Year.
Wait, what did I say, Lister?
What?
what? Go ahead.
Oh, did she really?
Yeah.
She got Playmate of the Year?
Cover. And also she did, and then she won Playmate of the Year for 2004.
Did she? I didn't know she won.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Playmate of the Year for 2004.
Are you fact checking? Do you know if that's true?
No, I remember.
She deserved it.
Especially after she left. And I was always obsessed with any portion of the show when they'd mention Buffy, or when Buffy would mention anybody, an Angel. Like whenever Willow and Cordelia were talking on the phone.
Yeah.
Was it season 1 or 2?
It was yeah.
Season 2, right? It was season 2 because she was
Was it
like,
it was season.
"I'm working out for you," or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was season 2.
I thought it was 1 because then they're talking about somebody being
It was about Harmony. They were talking about Harmony.
They're talking about Harmony, yeah, because it was the Disharmony episode, which is one of my favorite Angel episodes.
Yeah.
The one with the what is it? That's the vampire pyramid scheme, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like this whole pyramid scheme. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she's all like, "Oh my god, I think you're lesbian," and then I was like, "Oh, Cordelia, I love you, but Kurt."
I love it.
Ian,
Yeah,
I
the
want to know
cut,
if you
and
are.
she's like, "Oh, good for you."
Ian, are you ready for me to talk to you?
Yes, now I'm ready. Yes.
That was a great time. Great time.
But I'm going to tell you once again, you need to start preparing for when Slayer Fest 98 becomes Angel Fest 98, because we are going through the entirety of Angel. It's happening. And I'll wait till
I know. I'm just like,
It's a natural evolution of the conversation, no?
especially I feel like.
Did you ever think about doing Angel and Buffy like concurrently, since the seasons kind of lined up?
I did. I thought of trying to do that with my old co-host. It just really wasn't going to work.
Okay.
Because I did actually like field that with him, and I was like, well, maybe like I think that would work. I still go back and forth. I'm not sure. I'm kind of glad I didn't, just because I feel like it's better to have the conversation separately.
Yeah.
And I think the podcast would have gotten really crowded because there would have been so much to talk about.
Right.
And so much concurrently. It's not like they're separate. It's like, I don't know. I think I'm glad that we didn't, but I kind of wanted to, just to like make Buffy last longer.
Mm-hmm.
But
if you ever do like a Faith thing, you definitely should do like, because she bounces through, like her story arc goes through like Buffy, and then it goes back to Angel, and then it stays an Angel for a little bit, and then go back to Buffy. So it's definitely something you have to like follow along. And we watched all the Faith episodes last week.
Well, I think at one point we talked about, I did like a Patreon episode with Ian, and we talked about like the undeveloped spinoffs, and we talked about hers for a little bit.
Yeah.
Hers would have been so cool, man.
I would have been so into that.
Yeah.
So she lives in Boston. She's from Boston. She moved back to
Boston.
She lives here now. She's actually going to Harvard. I think she's going to Harvard Business School or something like that. And
awesome.
We do Buffy events here, like I mentioned earlier. And Boston is not very big. So we've been trying to figure out how to get her to come to one of our Buffy events, either like a sing-along or do a little mini con here or something like that. And I posted a picture of her on Facebook, and I was like, okay, does anyone know how I can get in touch with Eliza Dushku? And I got 17,000 messages of like, oh yeah, my mother gets her hair done with her mother at the salon. All of these very, very Boston things. I went to high school with a brother. He's gay, very handsome. Like, very silly. And then one of my friends who owns one of the the bigger clubs around here, bigger local clubs around here, just messages me and she's like, "Oh yeah, she's my mom's neighbor. Do you want me to see if I can get in touch with her?" Like, yeah. Please. So
that's funny. So when I first moved to New York, and I was very big on the club scene, I would go to like the club kid clubs. There was this one club called Greenhouse that had like Sunday night. I don't think it was a gay club. I think Sunday nights they had like a gay night. They had open bar for an hour. So of course I would drink myself into oblivion for that hour and then just be disgustingly drunk the rest of the night, but not drink. I went almost every Sunday, and one of the few Sundays I didn't go, I got a text to my friend that was like, "I can't believe you're not here tonight because Eliza Dushku's here." And she hung out with the drag queens I was friends with and like got drunk with them. And I was so mad.
First of all, she seems very cool. Second of all, she's very Boston. She's definitely like that. Like when people are like, "Oh, it's that crappy little fake faith accent." I'm like, no, that's what we sound like when we're trying to talk to muggles.
Yeah, someone recently tweeted about like how she was like doing that fake accent, and someone was probably like, "What makes you think she wasn't actually masking an accent?"
That's what
she was doing.
That's what we do. That accent is prevalent. It will not go away. We relearn ours here, where they so
much of Eliza Dushku's career has been masking her Boston accent.
Like, that takes up like 75% of her acting like energy. Like that's tapping that magic that she's tapping her acting mana with that one. So, but yeah,
I think when I first watched it, I thought it was like a fake accent until I realized, oh no, that's like her real accent. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I was like, oh shit. I don't know. She's from Watertown. Yeah, I used to live in a bunkhouse in Watertown.
Just get her address, and you and Ian can go stand outside her house.
Well, it's funny that you said that because another regular on the podcast, like a friend of the podcast who lives in Boston, also knows her. And I was like, oh, like she's friends with my friends. Yeah. Like they're not like good friends, but like knows her because they have mutual friends. Yeah. And she said the same thing. Boston's so small that's really common.
Boston's like 6 people. Yeah. It's like 6 people. I'll rephrase that. If you are not a sports fan, it's 6 people. I am not a sports fan. So.
I mean, same. So
I know all 6 people in Boston.
So Simone just asked us our favorite Cordelia-centric episodes.
Oh.
I think so. For me, it's always a tie between Room with a View with the ghost, because that end is just so good, and then. You're welcome. Because even though it's like when you know why it's like doesn't sit well, but I think it's a really good episode, and she really kills it in that episode. I think. Latoya, what are yours?
My favorite is Angel Season 3 Birthday. That's my favorite Angel episode, actually. So, yeah, it's a great episode. And
we watched that last night. He showed that. So I only ever watched Angel like.
So disappointing.
I've watched the whole first season, but the rest of the series, I only watched it like in the mornings before I would go to school. Like they would come on TNT, and so I've seen the series, but like out of order, and then some episodes I haven't seen. So I watched that one last night with him. It was so good, and I loved it. It was like just.
I was looking over because usually he's on his phone when we watch things, and I like judging him. But he was actually watching it the entire time, and he was grinning during the whole. Cordy.
It was great, and she was great. And when Cordy, her sitcom, all about it. I was all about it. I could have watched it for at least 3 more episodes.
It's so good. Yeah. It's such a good episode. I love it. I love Birthday. I love.
Which one in Buffy do you like?
In Buffy, let's see. I mean, well, the Wish is a bait and switch now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the Wish.
I mean, I was to say Bewitched, Bothered and Bewildered is technically a Xander episode, but it's also a Cordelia episode.
I don't know that there is another one, right?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean,
she has to take the lead of like she's kind of the one that like saves him and is like,
God damn it, Ian. Out of Sight, Out of Mind technically is a Cordelia episode in season 1.
I know.
Yeah. And I mean, Homecoming is Cordelia-centric too.
Yeah.
You could also call Halloween a Cordelia episode because she takes charge.
Yeah. She does, yeah, because she didn't buy her outfit from the same place everybody else did.
She's a cat, duh. But also, I just love that in that part of season 2 that she refuses to believe that Angel's a vampire. She has this thing where she thinks never mind. She just thinks that like Buffy is insane and thinks that Angel's a vampire. Like normal Buffy is insane and thinks Angel's a vampire.
Hello?
What are you looking at?
I think Ian is still listening.
Are we here?
It's just this awkward. You're done. Latoya's done speaking, and Ian's just still gonna.
Because it was like, I think for me. Oh, well, we disconnected. Oh no, we're back. Okay.
I see.
It says we're live the whole time.
Okay.
Mine, it said it wasn't live, and then it said go live, and then now it says you are live.
Ian, get better internet.
We all need better internet. To be fair, the entire universe is using the internet at the same time, all the time, forever right now. So
yeah,
we all need better internet, including the internet.
Wait, Zach, do I have to hit send to live again?
If you see the option for it, yes.
Damn it! Is it gonna create a new link?
Not a new one. It won't do. I don't think so. Maybe I can't promise you anything.
What happened?
It says
We'll find out.
But okay.
Okay. Because usually when you edit, it sends. You have to send to live too, right? But it won't do a new one.
Oh, okay, in the chat they said that we're live again. Okay.
I'm
Sorry, everyone.
Hi, internet.
I think it's like everyone's online right now, and then also my internet's not great.
They need to stop though.
Oh, Dustin said it never stopped at his end, which is weird.
See, Ian, it's just your weird internet.
Do you need me to burn more sage? Because I'll do that too. I got tons of that shit here.
Like that, put them in this bed.
Yeah, I don't know. What else is there to
We were
talk
talking
about?
favorite Cordelia episodes, so
Hey,
I heard all of that.
kiddos.
I could hear it. The video just wasn't moving. Like I could hear all of you talking about it. Like I heard you talking about birthday in that episode. But the video was just like would kind of move like this and then become a glitch on my end. Dustin, I'm glad you're appreciating it, though. He said it. Dustin in the chat said it's A+ entertainment.
thank you, Dustin. In the chat.
Watching me sweat in real time over the fact that my internet sucks.
You're doing great. We all believe in you.
Thanks.
Keep reaching for that.
Yeah, I don't know. So wait, Latoya, is birthday? Is that where we meet Skip?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
now I know which one you're talking. I
Yeah.
watched the Angel episodes that lined up with Buffy, and then I watched season 5 because
Yeah, that's where we meet. Actually, no, that's not where we meet Skip. That's the second time we see Skip, because we see the first time we see him is when Angel has to get Billy out of the Hell Dimension.
Oh yes, right.
Get it, Latoya. Get it.
Yeah, Skip, that line ass bitch.
That whole story makes me mad.
With that crossbow action.
Yeah.
That part's really good when but that's the other, like, he gets Billy out and then the next episode is Billy, right?
Yes.
Latoya?
Yes. I said yes numerous times.
Okay. Yeah, because I do really like.
God damn it.
Don't worry, on my end, they all came at once. So it was like you were saying yes 800 times at once. See, and my video's frozen again. I can't see anyone, but I can hear you all. God.
Because actually, so Billy
Alright,
is in the next episode. Jesus Christ. So that vision thing is episode 2 of season 3, and then Billy is a few episodes later, like episode 6 or 7 or something.
Okay.
Yes.
All right,
They
well,
build.
does anyone have any parting thoughts on... Yeah.
It was a great podcast. Good job.
Latoya.
Yes,
Thanks.
thank you for saying it was a
Thanks
great
for joining
podcast.
us, Map. I really appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
But
It was great meeting you.
Every time, anytime. I don't do. Actually, that's true. I do things, but I will literally drop everything to talk about Buffy with complete strangers all the time.
Yes.
So anytime.
Yes.
That's good. Because apparently so will
And
Lily,
Latoya,
so.
Latoya, thank you. And Latoya, thank you. Latoya, I love you. I'm sorry.
You're cool too.
I was saying thank you for being a good co-host with charisma with me.
No problem.
And Zachary and Alistair.
Keep responses to like a 1 or 2 word minimum. Let's do.
I love you all. We're gonna go. Bye.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thanks everybody for watching.